Hey everyone, it's Tom Fresh Vintage. Today we are looking at what I'm lovingly calling the tank rod. We saw this at our local Cars and Coffee, and we had to come back and get in touch with Tommy, the owner, and get some more in-depth coverage and footage on this thing. What's up, YouTube? This is Tom Fresh Vintage. Today we have a very special guest, Tommy. Tommy, thanks so much for taking the time to be here.
Glad to be here.
And
Glad to be here.
Tommy, this is a GMC. So, what year is the GMC truck, panel truck that you built this off
It's
of?
1954.
Okay.
There's a little codicil in the regulations of Virginia where when you build something like this, you can go two routes. You can go homemade car, but you have to get it inspected. The other route is you can register it as something old, 54 GMC. That's a route I took because I don't think they would allow something like that to pass inspection.
And so, Tommy, I always appreciate talking to another guy named Tom or Tommy. So, what is this thing? Because we've lovingly called it the tank rod, but what would you describe this as?
I'd like to describe it as the car of dreams.
I would agree with that. This is the car of dreams. It has everything I need, including a Patton Tank Engine. Did I hear you right when you said that? A Patton Tank Engine. Okay.
We brought together all the top engineers from the automotive world, and the design white paper called for a car that could do everything a car could do, but do it poorly. And we feel like we've accomplished that mission in this car. But yes, it's sarcasm aside, it's a Patton Tank Engine. It's gasoline, it's V12, it's air cooled. If you notice, there's no radiator anywhere. These radiators are for oil cooling. Oil cooling.
Okay, so this is your oil cooling
Yeah,
radiator.
that's
Okay.
oil cooling.
Okay.
Transmission coolers in the back, and the other one, the cooler on the other side, is for the power steering.
Okay.
But it's gasoline. It originally had magnetos. You'll see all the ignition on the front of it.
Yeah.
It originally had magnetos. I couldn't get those to work, so I adapted Chrysler Slant 6 ignition to it.
Okay.
So that gave me electronic ignition. It also gave me some mechanical advance that the magnetos didn't have.
And we see the Virginia plates. We'd like to give a thumbs up and say thank you to the state of Virginia for their titling and registration laws. So, but yeah, this is a Patton Tank Engine, and you actually have a really interesting story to tell about this.
As a matter of fact, I do. I was what started me on this was watching Jay Leno in his tank car. He's got the one that looks like I would describe it as a Lakester from the 1930s. And he's got one with one of these engines in it. And so that started me to thinking I'd like to build something similar. And so I started checking around and looking for an engine, and I ran across a guy here in Salem who sold me an engine sight unseen. Unfortunately, the engine was junk. And so I started disassembling it because I had to save it. I had too much money in it to just take it to the junkyard, which is what I should have done.
Yeah.
So in the process of doing that, you guys may think I'm crazy, but I don't care. But I actually prayed over the engine. I said, God, I've committed an egregious error. Help me fix this. And after all was said and done, I needed 10 cylinders out of the 12. So as a Hail Mary, I sent a letter to Jay Leno's garage, and he actually called me about a week later.
Oh,
He
wow.
said, you can come out to California and get anything off that engine that you want. He had a bad engine
Okay.
that came out of the car, and I figured that cylinders would probably be okay. So after we talked about it, we decided the best logistical solution would be to him just send me the engine. So that's what he did. About a week later, a big round container shows up, and when I opened it up, this engine was inside of it. And
Okay.
so I got him on the phone. I said, Jay, I think you guys made a mistake. You sent me a good engine. This one looks like it's ready to go. He goes, well, it's going to look good because it's in the tank and that kind of thing. I mean, in the car. It's all going to be shined up. I said, this thing's never been in anything, not even a tank. So I sent him a picture, and he calls me back, and he said, we sent you the spare engine for the car.
Oh, jeez.
So I said, that's okay. I'll close it up, get it on its way back to you, and we'll call it a day. And that's when he said, no, you keep it, you have fun with it,
Oh my
keep me
gosh.
posted what you do with it. So this is the result.
So Jay Leno sent you this engine. Oh, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
Wow.
He told me to keep it, and unfortunately, this is not quite up to his standards. As far as I don't think this will end up at a concourse show or a
Yeah,
Pebble Beach or
his
something
car
of
with
that
the same
sort.
engine at it is amazing. It's
Oh,
just like
it is.
immaculately. It's yeah, it's really really nice.
Well, Randy Grubb was the one who built it, and I heard that he spent 5,000 hours building that
Oh
car.
wow.
It
Yeah, it's
was
twin
all
turboed and stuff
hammered.
like that.
Oh yeah, and it's all hammered steel. It's amazing.
And Tommy, so we were talking, Jay and I were talking, we're like, how do you get, obviously this is a gas engine and it's built by Continental. You guys saw the actual Continental placard built in Mobile, Alabama, way back when. How do you get this to run? It's obviously a gas engine, but what kind of challenges did you have, or is it direct injection, or is there carburetors,
It
or
is. It's direct injection. These are the injectors right here.
okay,
They just shoot right into the intake,
okay,
and it's sequential. Here's a mechanical pump right here,
okay, so it
and
is
it's
mechanical,
it's
okay.
sequentially injected.
Oh, that's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. And all this is right here is an air throttle. That's all this is right
Okay.
here.
Also, so I see the whole throttle
Yeah.
actioning there.
Now the earlier versions did have carburetors, but they did not run very well.
I can imagine that the linkages and everything having to keep everything in
Yeah,
tune. So
in so much distance, it had to go from here all the way out here.
yeah,
The cylinder distribution was pretty abysmal.
yeah. And I see. Does this have? No, this doesn't have power steering. I thought
It
this was.
does.
Oh, it does have power steering. Oh,
Yeah,
is that
that's
electric power steering?
no, that's the hydraulic pump right
Oh, that's the
there.
hydraulic. Oh, it runs off. Okay, it
It
runs
runs
off
off
of
the generator pad. I
the
mounted on the
generator.
generator
Okay,
pad.
okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
because I saw the alternator here, and I was okay. Where's the power steering pump? But
Well, originally it did have the power steering pump over here, but I had the wrong pump on it. Plus, I
okay,
had the system hooked up wrong, so it
okay.
didn't have any power steering. But it's got power steering. It's got power hydro boost power brakes.
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
really nice. And I see two six-cylinder distributor caps here. It looks like.
Yeah. It has two spark plugs per cylinder. It's
Oh,
part of
okay.
the redundancy of
Okay.
it being a tank engine.
Yeah.
And when I work on it, I feel like I'm working on an aircraft engine.
It kind of looks like because it's air
It,
cooled and stuff. Yeah.
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 And it behaves like an aircraft engine. It has movable counterweights on the crankshaft like an aircraft engine.
There's that plaque again.
Yeah.
It says Continental Motor Corporation, Military Division, Mobile, Alabama. And I remember Jay Leno actually saying Chrysler built these under license too,
Yeah,
from what
they
I
do.
remember.
I think the engine in
So
his car is a Chrysler.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think his is a Chrysler.
Let's look at the transmission. I think you said it was an Allison,
It
if I
is,
remember
yeah.
correctly.
It's 6 speed.
6-speed transmission.
Yeah, it's an Allison 3000 series automatic. It's
Okay.
completely electronic. There's no mechanical link.
That thing is a beast now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that out of, I'm assuming it's out of the semi, right?
Yeah, it's out of the truck that all the frame pieces came
Oh, okay.
from. All the axles, the frame, the transmission, all that came from the same truck.
And I see, it looks like plywood at the floor there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the highest grade plywood that Lowe's has available.
The best money can buy,
The
right?
best money can buy. We spared no expense on this.
I greatly appreciate the Jeep uh, side view mirror here. That's awesome.
Again, I dug it out of my junk pile.
That's good though. That's good.
So,
I love that this is repurposed. Like people would just go buy a brand new SUV and they drive it, and then they're like, oh, something happened to it, and they buy another
get rid of
brand new SUV. Yeah.
another $100,000 SUV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this, we have what looks like the clear tubing there. That's our functioning wipers, you know?
Yeah, that is the. It actually has.
I mean, what more could
Windshield
you want,
wash.
you know?
Exactly.
This thing is great.
I mean, it is high class.
I really, you have no idea how awesome this thing is.
And the horn, got a great horn on it.
You even have the temp built into the actual rearview mirror there.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And we have air conditioning,
There's
as
your
you
AC.
can see. That's my AC. And seats came out of an '06 Tahoe.
And the seats work, if I remember correctly.
Well, you have to
Let me
turn
turn
the
the
ignition
we'll
on.
turn the tank rod on here. Yep, there you go.
Yeah,
We
they
even
work.
have airbags here, folks. I mean, this thing has it all.
The reason I
So
like these seats is because the seat belts are built in.
Yes, actually, that's
All the
really, really
attach
good.
points, the frame, the axle, both axles, all that are from a '98 International 4700.
Okay,
I
so
never saw the truck together. I just saw the frame.
the frame and the actual suspension and the rear axle as well, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, what as you built this, what's something what's like the thing you love the most about it?
The biggest thing is that there were absolutely no constraints. When I needed to put something on it, I just kind of get it close. Yeah, that's good. Weld it on. Done.
What kind of tank is this? Is this a? I mean, obviously it's a fuel tank, but
It's off of a Ford dump truck, a
dump truck.
'79
Okay.
Ford dump truck.
And then you just have it plumbed in for gasoline and
Yeah, yeah.
any.
Yeah, all I had to do was just get the rest of the diesel out of it,
Okay.
and all the trash. Over the years, people have been using it as a garbage
Oh,
can,
geez.
so it had a lot of trash in it.
What was it take an 87 or 93 or
Cheapest gas you can put in,
really?
87 is fine.
Okay.
It only has 6.5 to 1 compression.
Wow,
Yeah, it's
wow,
really
that's
low
incredibly
compression.
low. Okay.
And I think it was done that way, and so when it was in wartime situation, they could put
Whatever they
gasoline.
could get their hands on. Yeah, that makes sense. So literally bottles of liquor or something might run the thing, you know.
Exactly.
So what's the one thing that really perplexed you in building this?
That is a good question. Really, how to mount the engine.
Okay.
The engine has like these rails down the side, and so what I did was I took two pieces of angle iron
I see them in there. Okay.
and then welded some flat sheet in there
Okay.
so it would capture that railing, and then I welded angle iron to that, and
Mm-hmm.
these mounts are LS Chevy motor mounts, and there's
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one on the
Oh my
tail
goodness.
shaft
Wow,
of
there
the
are. Wow, there's a
transmission.
lot. So
So,
actually now that you're explaining it, that would be a challenge.
and it
'Cause-
was. I was originally going to try to fix the mounts inside the frame,
yeah.
but the more I looked at it, it would just been a nightmare trying to do that. So I just decided to put them on top. It made things go a lot easier and a lot quicker.
Yeah, and this is wow. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah,
I
glad to do it.
always appreciate a good story about how something came together
Yeah.
and the fact that Jay Leno was nice enough. Big thank
Gave
you to
me the
him
engine.
for the engine and bringing this thing to life.
It just want it primed.
There you go. It's all needed.
Just got to remember to say, you want it primed for a good time.
Pratt & Whitney R2800. Wow. Radial engine there. It's amazing. So your original engine's in here,
Yeah.
and that's what your good engine came in from California there. It looks very much military grade. Like this is something the military would use. So
If somebody buys it, they get this thing too.
buy one BOGO, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.